Our next speakers. Hannah Herbst is a teen scientist from Boca Raton, Florida. She attends Florida Atlantic University High School, which is a dual enrollment program. She's a freshman. And by the time she's 18, when she graduates from high school, she will also have a bachelor's degree from Florida Atlantic University. She is incredibly bright, incredibly curious, and she's the winner of this year's 2015 3M and Discovery Education Young Scientist Competition, which we have the honor of partnering with 3M on. With her is her mentor, Jeff Emslander. And Jeff has been with 3M for 29 years. He's a scientist. He has, I believe he has 28 patents and 24 more pending. And Jeff is incredibly passionate about fostering this next generation of scientists, really helping to pique their curiosity, cultivate it, and propel them into those future careers. So Jeff and Hannah, without further ado.
America's 2015 Top Young Scientist is Hannah Hurst.
Hi, my name is Hannah Herbst. I'm 15 and I'm from Boca Raton, Florida. I developed Beacon, which stands for Bringing Electricity Access to Countries Through Ocean Energy. When I first began developing my innovation, I was in 7th grade. But before that, I was very interested in theater and sports, and I was encouraged to pursue those things like a lot of kids my age. I had zero interest in science until the 7th grade, when my parents enrolled me in a summer engineering and technology camp at Florida Atlantic University. At first, I didn't want to be there. I was the only girl, and I, again, had no interest in science. But after just a few days of learning about robotics and how things worked, I was enamored. I was fascinated. I couldn't believe that this was possible. Ever since then, I've been really excited about science. So I started developing Beacon, and I worked under my 3M mentor's supervision. I was inspired to create it by my 9-year-old pen pal in Ethiopia named Ruth. She's living in energy poverty and doesn't have access to electricity. And upon doing some more research about her, I learned that over 70% of those who reside in her area are also living in energy poverty. I wanted to do something about this problem, so I worked with my 3M mentor to do that.
Yeah, so we had a great time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jeff Emslander. I am a senior scientist at the Corporate Research Process Laboratory in 3M. I grew up on a dairy farm. When I grew up, I absolutely loved science. I loved learning how things work. So when I got out of high school, I attended the University of Minnesota. I got a degree in chemical engineering, and upon graduation, I immediately began working at 3M. I work on things, film products that are used in products that you probably see every day, things like graphic films that are applied to buildings and vehicles. I work on retroreflective sheeting that's applied on stop signs and in construction zones. I've worked on components of diapers. I've worked on medical and surgical products. I really enjoy what I do. When people think of 3M, though, a lot of people think of Scotch tape and Post-it notes, but we really are. We are, right? That's it. That's good, and I hope you keep buying them. But we really are a science company that tries to improve people's lives every day. At 3M, we sell respirators that are used by painters and welders to make their breathing easier and healthier when they're doing their jobs. We sell very tiny glass bubbles that are added to plastics to make your car lightweight, so you save money at the gas pump. And we have optical films we developed and implemented into Kenya to help over 40,000 people living in energy poverty improve their lives so children can study in the evening after it gets dark. As a science company, though, 3M is dedicated to nurturing the next generation of young scientists like Hannah. And as part of this, 3M partnered with Discovery Education to put on the Young Scientist Challenge. This is a very different science fair. It's not a science fair. It's very different than a traditional science fair in that there's an element of mentoring involved. Each of the 10 finalists that are chosen are paired up with a 3M mentor. And I was very, very fortunate to be paired up with Hannah. We've had a great time.
Yes, I was fortunate to be paired up with you. So I was first inspired to participate in the competition after I was honored to win the Florida State Science and Engineering Fair. My middle school science teacher asked me to check out the website, youngscientistchallenge.com, and all that was required to be in the challenge is to make a short video describing your scientific solution to an everyday problem. And as I mentioned before, I was interested in targeting the issue of energy poverty. So I entered my video, and I had no idea that I would be a finalist, and I was completely honored to have been chosen. So we started our work together, and we worked together for about 5 months.
Yes, and you know, we're talking about curiosity. I think to be a good scientist, curiosity plays an important role. And there's another part of that that we maybe mentioned a little bit, and that's you can't take yourself too serious. You're doing things that haven't been done before, turning over rocks, looking for things, and you don't know the answers, so you can't take yourself too seriously and get discouraged. I knew right away this wasn't Hannah. We got introduced on a teleconference. And when we finished, I asked her if she could please send me some of her PowerPoint slides from her science fair so I could take a look at her project and kind of come up to speed. One of the files she sent to me was titled Hannah Banana. I knew right away this is somebody I wanted to work with. Not only was she smart, funny, she didn't take herself too serious, and we got along great. And mentorship is a two-way street. Every time I've mentored someone, I've learned something. And this is a bit embarrassing to say in this audience, but I'll tell you. I had never Skyped before. And so Hannah, I know, blasphemy, Hannah suggested right away that we Skype so she could show me her prototypes and drawings. And we could work together more freely rather than just talking on the telephone. And it's been a great experience working with Hannah.
Definitely. You taught me about the process innovation over Skype, and I was able to show him my prototypes. And the second that I realized that Beacon worked, I called him and I said, "It works. I can't believe it." And so this is Beacon. And this is the second iteration. So two of the problems that we faced while developing it the first was saltwater corrosion. Done some testing in the Boca Raton Inlet, which connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Intracoastal Waterway. And there's a lot of saltwater that's pushed through this inlet, and that's the energy that I'm harnessing. So we use 3M technology in order to insulate the connections for electricity. So if you would like to come and do the honors. This is a sort of simulation. And the string that he's about to pull represents the current energy in any moving body of water. And the power is transferred through a series of wires and a bridge rectifier in order to light up the light system. So after we developed Beacon, the other 10 finalists and I got the opportunity to travel to the 3M Innovation Center in St. Paul, Minnesota to compete for the title of America's Top Young Scientist. And it was amazing to meet you when we first got there. I ran through the door, I saw him, I was like, yes, it's finally here, it's happening.
It's the same way.
And we got to learn so much. The 2 days at the Innovation Center were really challenging, but they were really, really fun, and it was just amazing to be there.
Yes, and our mentorship relationship is not going to be over just because the competition is over. Hannah and I have decided we are going to continue to try to make Beacon a reality, and I can let you explain how we're going to do that.
Definitely. We're going to work with 3M's Team Africa in order to eventually deploy it to Africa so that it can be tested in that real-world environment, and then we hope to deploy it to my pen pal.
Yeah, so 3M has, at a research center, we have a group of scientists that connect back to their homeland to increase networking and technical exchange. And what we hope to do is tap into that network to be able to test Beacon. She's got another prototype of this in real world conditions where it's intended. So it could be Africa, it could be India, it could be any place. So we intend to tap into that, get real world feedback, and as Hannah said, when she's ready, she wants to openly publish the design to help people and make her dream come true. So I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely, and we didn't do this alone. We'd like to thank Discovery Education, 3M, and the Social Innovation Summit.
Yes, thank you all.